The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good. Boy, we're going to walk down memory lane today. I was watching TV early this morning to see what's going on, and Evan Bayh, a former governor and senator from the state of Indiana, his two sons, both are, one is joining the Marines, the other is joining the Army. Both were accepted to Harvard, and they're going into the service. I happen to know that family very well, folks, because back in the old days of Terre Haute, Indiana, when Evan Bayh was born, which was, I was a senior, it was 1962, and he was born in a little town called Shirkyville, Indiana, which is a little ranch or a little farm that his father was a senator from Indiana who happened to be a friend of my father, and so that's how I knew that. It was part of the old Ralph Tucker was the mayor of Terre Haute, Indiana. But anyway, it was really amazing. His wife also, Evan Bayh's wife, has the same disease that our esteemed senator from Arizona passed away with, glioblastoma, brain cancer. So our prayers are with that family, of course. But let's move on to some more trips down memory lane. I posted the chart of the DAX. As you can see, we're still in a minor downtrend with lower tops. We have basically slightly higher bottoms, but it's really sort of the jury's still out on that. But we've got one that looks really interesting. And here's the story I would like to tell you, folks. You have to get into your time machine and go back to 2006 in October. And it was at a time when I was flying from Japan, from Hong Kong to Japan, Narita, Japan, getting ready to go back to the United States. I had just finished 10 years of speaking for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where I went 3 times a year to China, to about 16 different cities, to their graduate classes, talking about capitalism and how futures markets work and how people lost money, how people made money. And it was just an incredible experience. I loved it very much. And I was sitting behind a young lady, and I helped her get her luggage, and I went to the lounge with her. We had about a 3-hour layover, and we started talking, and I was certainly interested in her. And so I pulled the laptop out, and I went to the website to prove to her that my pictures were not at any post office in the United States. Well, they're not at the major post offices anyway, but she was in a stock called AIG. It's a big insurance company, and it was trading at around 72 3/4. And the reason why I'm bringing you this IWM Russell cap stop here is this was the pattern that we were looking at that time. We had major patterns completing, specifically this butterfly and also a 3 drive to a top pattern coming at the same time. It all said 73, and I suggested that she sell that stock because I thought it was going to have, one heck of a correction. Well, it had a slight correction. It went from 73 to 36 cents a share. And what happened was, from there on, I happened to be my wife, Sarah. That's right, Marshall. Anyway, I stalked her for another few weeks on the internet, and finally we were able to get to some semblance of communication, and we've been together now for 11 years, and it's been going on 12. But anyway, that was the stock. I remember seeing it this morning, and I said, oh my gosh, I said, it looks exactly like, hey, I'm not saying the Russell's going to 63 cents. I'm saying it was the same pattern. However, we are looking at some really serious, interesting things here in the market. I wanted to bring one of the questions that someone brought to our attention over the weekend was talking about, if something happens negatively to the president, what happened during the Nixon administration. If you'll look here at the Nixon administration here, this is from one of the websites that brings some stuff up, and I had a good price on it. You'll notice that from 1973, from July all the way through October, we were making a 3-drive to a top pattern. You can see that. That's the NASDAQ. Now, the reason I just pulled this up off the internet, folks, this is not the chart that you probably should look at. The reason why is the NASDAQ didn't even start trading until a year and a half before that. So there's not a lot of action going on in here. But this was the 3-drive pattern. You can see when it happened. And then, of course, the market went down and finally bottomed into the October and December area of 1974. That's when the final stop was. By the way, Sarah told me she just checked and she had sold AIG at 72. The high on the stock was 72 3/4. Anyway, let's remember that these are only patterns that we're looking at here, folks. That's the main thing. Now, over the weekend, I did a lot of work here on the market, and I looked at it, and I said, boy, we're going to open higher here on Sunday night, mainly because we have this big full moon, and it is absolutely spectacular here in the desert. It's just like daylight. It's just really, really beautiful. And that leads us to we're going to be coming up to harvest moons as we get into September and October. Those are the largest, and that's almost like daylight sometimes. So anyway, here's what the Bill, Bill, you got me off balance on that one, but someone in the den has posted that was the last time she listened to me. You're absolutely right. Anyway, it was rather funny here looking at that thing. You caught me by surprise. Some of you guys are a little too funny here. Mr. Z's talking about the British pound. We've been looking for a bottom in that. It has a really nice bottom. It's had a pretty good rally off of that, but we're going to switch over to the currencies because those are the ones that have been good to us. We really felt that bottom in the euro was going to be very, very significant, and it certainly has been. I mean, as you can see here by looking at the euro, and we're having really good intraday trades here. Last night we backed off to a 382 retracement exactly to the 50% level one more time, and then away we went higher, and I think we're getting ready to take out the 160. We hit the 116.50 last night, and that tells us that the next level we're going to be looking at is 117.50. Folks, what's important about this, look where we were on August the 15th. Stop and think now. We're 4 handles higher. That's a lot of handles. If you go back and look at June, it took us from June all the way to mid-July just to make 3 handles, and here in just 2 weeks we made 4 handles, and that is because we're coming off of that long-term 61% retracement in the euro, and that equated to the dollar index. Let's get that up here to look at it. You'll notice that equated to that dollar index at 96.80. And so that's why it's so very, very important. Now, whether this is going to be a currency war of any kind, I have no idea. But that's basically it. Anyway, I don't know anything about Vice President Pence at all. I've been out of Indiana the reason why I left Indiana was 1962. I was taking a final exam. I walked past the bank. I looked up the first time we ever had a digital clock in Indiana, and I looked up and it was minus 22 degrees. And I said, I just accepted a job with Eli Lilly with the stipulation they send me to sunny California. And they did for a couple of years. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's move on to a couple. Oh, we got a break coming up already. I don't have any guests this week, but I'm going to try to get one of them in later on this week. So we'll see. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks. Well, you guys are making my job real easy today. You've given me some questions that I'm going to try to answer. We get one from our good friend in the den here, Tucker, and and that's not Byron Tucker, by the way. That is a question: is how can the market go down? In the face of if it goes up in the face of tariffs and war and everything else, and what will ever bring the market down, folks? The one thing I really believe in, and that is the fact that there are cycles out there. I don't know the answer to them. All I know is that they're out there, and I don't know why it's going to happen. I've seen this happen so many times through my trading career that the mood has to be the strongest as the markets go higher. The problem with this one is that we've had very little participation in some of this, but whether that's going to continue or not, I don't know. So the answer to that question is, Tucker, I believe that there's something out there in a cycle that is going to be very, very important. I just look at the patterns. That's what I really understand. The fact that we have this beautiful full moon here coming in today, and I think it's an important thing to look at. And this is not the most hated bull market. I don't believe that. I think the most hated bull market was the one in '98, but who knows, because a lot of people didn't get involved with that one. So we'll be able to see. The thing that I think will be the trigger is when we see the first day when the Dow Jones is down more than 400 points in one day. That's what I think will be the trigger. I expected the market to be a little higher this morning to complete all of these. The Russell is completed, the Dow Jones is completed, the NASDAQ has completed, the S&P has completed. Now we've got double tops in the transportations and stuff, and also with the utility. But whether that means anything or not, I really don't know. Now, the second question that someone brought to my attention was the fact that Eli Lilly has been trading at all-time highs now. Now, it'd probably been better to be in options, and that's not the truth, because you cannot replace the 60 years that I've been doing this, folks, because I've I've been all over the world. I've been in so many countries, I can't even count them. And all the people that I've met, I've got maybe 4 or 5 people that don't like me very much, but, you know, you got to take that with a grain of salt. But I've been everywhere and met so many wonderful people, and I've just been really blessed with it. You know, I'm sure I could have probably done things a lot differently, but, you know, I have no regrets. You know, if you, like, what was his name? Yogi Berra said, when you come to that fork in the road, take it. And I was fortunate to take the right one. And luckily I'm still friends with many of these people. We're going back, you know, many, many years. So got to add that to it. I don't know. I'm certainly going to leave with the same amount of money as Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and everybody else, because we can't take it with us. All you got is your memories and your family. The family comes first, and then we'll see what goes on from that level. Now, someone's asked a question about the Treasury bonds. I really think that we got a chance with these Treasury bonds to get up to this. Just put this up here to take a look at it. It's got a beautiful pattern here. We're trading at around 75.16 right now, and I think that if we get any weakness at all, yeah, I never would have met Mr. Z. That's right. That's right. I never would have. Fortunately, I've got him as a friend too. Anyway, look at this pattern here in the Treasury bonds. We got a head and shoulders. We saw that bottom coming in. Spot on. Now, we've been up now for, you know, almost a month here, coming into a month. And so if we can get this up about 2 handles from where we are, that's going to complete and take out those highs from March. That's going to complete an ABCD pattern. That will be the second one. The other one occurred back in August. So this would be the second major ABCD pattern. Remember, the high on these bonds goes up into the 170s. So we're coming down big time in interest rates. I mean, in the bonds means interest rates are going higher. So that's what I'm looking at here in the Treasury bond market. I think we've got a chance to get up to that level, and we'll see if that's going to be the case. Now, maybe we don't. The other question someone just asked is, how do we know if it misses the 147? If we go below 143, then I would say yes. Then certainly if we go below that right shoulder, then you're going to see interest rates go quite a bit. Another question, a lot of questions today about the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, you know, they follow what's going on in the market, folks. Just go back and look at the history. Look at, well, you can look at Greenspan's, his comments, but look at Bernanke in October of 2007. He was giving green lights for everything. He didn't see anything going on in the housing market at all. And the stock, you know, the NASDAQ dropped 85%. So, you know, that's one thing or another. Keep an eye on it. Why that is, you don't know. I missed that. I really wanted to see that Willie Nelson, and I know it was so popular they're going to redo it. And if someone finds out when it's going to be rebroadcast, I would really like that. Sarah and I were fortunate enough to see Willie here a couple of years ago with his family, and he put on a fabulous 2-hour show, and it was really great. We also got to see the great Chuck Berry, and we saw him at the very end of his career, and he had lost the words to some of the songs because he admitted that, you know, this was his last tour and his mind was slipping, but man, he was still the king of rock and roll when it comes to that. It was really good. Anyway, we'll see we'll keep watching some of these things. But thanks for the questions, folks. It makes my job here a whole lot easier, because I try to prepare these charts, what I think is the best thing to look at, but we'll have to pay attention to some of these things as we look through here. But we got some really interesting ones to watch here. Remember, we're in an area where we should have been going down. You know, that sell in May certainly didn't work. We saw that was history once we went above those June highs, and now we're going into this area of August. Now, remember, on August the 25th, 1987, that was the top of the market. Oh, by the way, those of you that might not know this, when John McCain passed away on August 25th, that was also the anniversary date of Edward Kennedy passing away on August 25th. So we'll see if that means anything. Okay, let's move up. The old high, I believe, and we've taken out the high of the S&P index, and we're making a very interesting pattern in that one too. It looks very similar to the pattern in the old IWM. They look very similar. We made new highs, no question about it. We have a nice 3 drive to a top pattern. Whether these patterns meet or not, I don't know, but just got a lot of them forming, boys and girls. That's basically Oh, we got Mr. Peak is on a roll today. Anyway, those are just some of the ones, but the one that I think is the really key to these, and this is the one that I think we're finally going to make that 61% retracement above the July high this morning, and if we don't, we got a real problem, and I think we will without any trouble at all, is to see that New York Stock Exchange index above 13,050. We traded it right around 13,000. We should be hitting that real easy this morning, and that'll be an interesting one to move. The only thing that would change my opinion that this is not some type of a major top, if not the top, is if we're up more than 300 points today or tomorrow in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, plus 40 in the S&P, and some ungodly number in the NASDAQ. That would change it. Looking at the FANG stocks, all of those have made tops. I really believe that. They're down considerably from their tops, and I don't think they'll be making new tops. We've got to cover Tesla when we come back. I've had a lot of questions this morning, and believe me, I really appreciate that because it makes it fun to talk about some of these things and how the markets work. But we'll cover Tesla when we get back here because it's in the news, and I think it's something important to pay attention to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're going to take a look at Tesla here because it's been in the news quite a bit, and we've been talking about it off and on here. Hold on one second here. We're having some difficulties with the noise level here in Tucson as we're hitting some really key levels in Christmas corn that I'm watching very, very closely. And if we'll take a look here, just give me 1 second to turn this off, and then there we go. Okay, let's move on here to Tesla. You'll notice that we had the big ABCD pattern up there at 386. We talked about that when it was going on in the show, when it was happening here on the radio show that morning. That completed the ABCD pattern. We broke $103 a share. We rallied right back to the 382 retracement, which was spot on at the 323 level. We're now down about $9 or $10 this morning because they announced that the private thing was off. He couldn't get the $400 trillion or whatever it was to, to buy the stock out. I don't know what the answer to that is. All I know is that's a pattern. That's a bearish pattern. If the stock gets above 325, it has a possibility of rallying a little bit more. But with those double ABCD patterns there in Tesla, that tells you that's a major resistance in that stock. In fact, the news came out and everybody had to own it. It gapped up, what, 40, 50 bucks, and look what's happening now. So pay attention that sometimes these things don't work the way you want to see them work, and that makes it a little bit different to look at. So let's keep that in mind as we look at Texas. I am not saying this stock is going anywhere. I think we're going down, but whether it's going to do bankruptcy or not, I have no idea, folks. I mean, there's been a lot of car companies in the United States. Back in 1930, I believe there were over 2,000 car companies in the United States, and after about 30 years, I think we were down to about 5, and then after that, down to about 3. I'm not counting these really small car companies, but the major ones. Those are the ones that we were referring to. So let's keep an eye on it. Someone's asked me to bring out the chart that we posted a couple weeks ago about, this is from the Elliott Wave theorist, showing that the number of bulls to bears was increasing, and we've also gone to new high ground here. Whether this is a Ridex, basically it's looking at the bull-bear ratio. The bulls are far out ahead of the bears by 24 to 1. We've only seen that one other time, and that was in 2000. So we'll see. The hog market. Yes, the hog market has been moving pretty good. Let's just take a quick look at it. We'll look at December hogs here. We had a beautiful ABCD pattern here, 3-drive pattern in the hogs down here to this level here. This is what we were looking for. I don't know what they're doing this morning, but we're looking for prices in hogs to go up another 12 cents. Whether it's related to this thing in China or not with this flu that they're having, we'll have to wait and see. But remember, Rich Anderson was on here a month ago talking about the hogs at right around 44 bucks. It was basically the cost of production. Those of you who've been at TFNN here for a long time, if you'll look at the history of this and go back about 3 years when hogs were trading around 45, Rich came on and spent a whole half hour describing why those hogs would have a hard time going much lower because the farmers were just not going to feed them expensive corn. And that's basically, and they went from 45 to 112, I believe. That's a big move. That's equivalent to, a 4,000 or 5,000 point move in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So remember, when we get these things down at a low price, we'll have to wait and see. We had several that are acting pretty nicely. If you remember, the coffee market has had a pretty big bottom down in here, and that one also, went right to the exact 1.618 level. It made one tick below the $100, and now we're trading above 106 in the coffee already. And if you look at cocoa's had a tremendous move here this past week. I mean, it came, went a little below, and I don't trade cocoa. I just bring it to the attention of folks that like to look at it. But we went down there, but look at that gap up. That was the key. When it gapped at 21.20, boy, you don't want anything to do with that. You went sideways for 2 weeks, and boom, away it went. That you don't want to stand in front of that. That's a sign that the bells are ringing in the cocoa market. So all I'm doing is looking at the charts. I just watch the charts. That's what we're looking at. Let's look at one other one here because I think it's worth the price of admission. I don't know what it's going to do today, but where is it? Here it is. This is the Christmas corn. Let's just take a quick look at it. Just look at it right here. And you'll see here that we're down here in this full moon area. And we're down about, we went below 360 today in the corn. That's what that beeper was going off about. So we'll have to wait and see, what's going to happen, with the cocoa market. There's another market that is interesting here, folks. That is the crude oil market. Let's just get this up here so that we can take a quick look at it if I can find it. Where are you? Here we go. Just a second here. We'll get this up here to take a look at it. You'll see this is a divergence here that I think we ought to pay attention to this morning. You'll notice here that the crude oil got up to 69.30. That was basically a 50% retracement of the high that we made way back in July. But look above there where it says heating oil has rallied to the 61% retracement. So what we really need to do is to switch over and take a look at that heating oil, and you'll see the difference between the crude oil and the heating oil. And this is a time when heating oil is usually very, very weak because you're in the middle of the warm weather and you don't really need heating oils. The heating oils for the wintertime, but you'll notice it's completing a big ABCD pattern up there at that 222 and change level. So this is one to take a look at. Now, if we get above $69 in the oil, then that's something totally different. And then you'll be looking at potential for higher prices. But right now, there's a slightly bearish bias in gasoline, heating oil, and crude oil. That's how I look at it here from the cheap seats here in Tucson, Arizona. So let's keep a close eye on that one because there's a potential if we do get above that 69 level, we could be looking at something really interesting. We want to talk just a tad about Bitcoin here. I had such a great conversation this past weekend with my good friend John Jameson, who really understands this, and he explained to me why blockchain technology is going to be coming. It's going to be, the reasons behind it are a little bit far-fetched, but the way he described it to me and the way the internet evolved, it certainly made a real interesting examination. I'm trying to get John as my guest here to discuss some of this, but we'll see what's going on. I don't know anything about the Iran and the Straits and stuff like that. That could be, that's fundamental stuff that I don't really, pay a whole lot of attention to. But we could certainly see that if that were going to be the case. So we'll watch one thing at a time and see how we go here. The Australian dollar, folks, we mentioned that a little bit earlier, that it's had a pretty big move. You remember yesterday or Friday they had, this past week, Turnbull was left and Scott Morrison came on as the new prime minister. They've changed, hold on here, let's get this up and look at this Australian dollar here. And then we'll see. God bless you, Marshall. We love you. Anyway, Marshall, Kelly said to say hi. We saw Kelly yesterday after a while, and he's looking great. He's a little slower now at 95, but we're hoping to see you one more time, buddy, because we miss you and Lynn to come to visit us. But the weather's getting nice now. The monsoons are over, so we're ready to go. Let's look at this Australian dollar. The big ABCD pattern down here hit exactly at the 72 level. We had a really strong 5-day rally taking us up 2 handles. We had the back off when Turnbull resigned, went right down to the 78% level at 72.15, and now it's starting to move. This tells us that the U.S. dollar is going to be under some pressure here. We're seeing it in the euro. We're seeing it in the Japanese yen. We're seeing it in the Canadian dollar. We're seeing it everywhere. So let's pay attention here because even though the euro could go to, 0 or 100, whatever, right now it doesn't look that bearish. It really doesn't. That could change in the next hour, but right now it really doesn't. We've had a question about the Dow Jones Transportations. I'll bring this up to take a look at it here, see what we're doing here. And you'll notice that we're looking at the big ABCD pattern here at the level of 11,487. Wow, I just got a transmission from a radio somewhere. How does that happen? Anyway, and also we made a 3 drive to a top pattern, as you can see. So you have 3 patterns there. You have a double top, a big ABCD pattern, and you have the 3 drive to a pattern in the transportations, and they've been lagging. They're not going to make new highs, I don't think, from here, but we'll wait and see. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back with more from TFNN.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we had a question about one other thing that we need to cover, and then we'll move on with some other questions that are coming up. The gold and silver. We'll take a quick look here at the gold. One of the things that we're seeing here in the gold market is something that we were looking for, and that was a really strong move off of what we think is a major bottom. And this one is extremely important because if you look at it, if you look at the bottom that we had in November or December of last year, we had a really nice bottom. Look how this bottom is coming out. We've already moved better than $50 an ounce. Go back to December 2016, where the market rallied $200 an ounce. Look how we came out of that one. This is important, folks. We have made a major 78% retracement in the gold level, in the gold area. We were fortunate enough to pick up some stuff down in that area in silver and gold. So if it looks like it's going to go higher, I think you just hang on and see what's going to happen, because this is very powerful action. when you come out of these bottoms, that just like when you come out of a top, when it turns, you really want to, take a look at it. So that's the main thing that we're watching here in the gold and silver. We did have a $19 correction in the gold, very close to the $17, which is half of the harmonic number in gold. So that's about right. So we're watching for corrections, to be a buyer, and especially be watching for the ABCD patterns should they occur. Because if you remember, just about 3 weeks ago, we brought this to your attention in the gold, which from the Elliott wave theorist again, where we were looking at only 6% people were bullish on gold and only 7% bullish on silver. And, the markets had a pretty good run here in the gold. So, but we'll have to wait and see. You're right, Peak. No one knows, and no one knows what's going to happen next. That's one thing that we absolutely have to depend on when we're trading, because that tells you that you have to prepare yourself to protect yourself. That's really what it's all about. There's nothing more or less that you have to do than you have to be able to protect yourself, because no one knows what's going to happen to these markets, whether it's hogs or gold or whatever. We'll see. I don't know what you mean, but true, but that wasn't for you. I don't understand. The comment. Okay, let's move on to a couple other things that we're looking at here. Let's just double check to see if we're still screaming in the market, which we are. We should be up this first hour without any trouble at all. And the reason for that is it's amateur hour. And so we're 15 minutes into the trading. We're moving up pretty good here. I really believe that in order for the market to have a big run here in the market for the stocks, we've got to be up over 300 points and close above there either today or tomorrow. And let's just double check the New York Stock Exchange Index. My beeper hasn't gone off here, so I don't think it's actually, maybe it hasn't calculated. Now that's the problem, because it's only 15 minutes into trading and they only calculate that every 15 minutes. And if we take a quick look at it, we should be above 13,000, and we are. We gapped up to 13,063. The old high had been 13,040, so we did make that 61% retracement at that level, and that means that that pattern has also completed also. But we're still making new highs as we're speaking today, so we're continuing higher. And maybe, hey, this is a really good chance that maybe I'm completely wrong here, but we're in this full moon here, and this is all these patterns. This is what you live for if you like pattern recognition, rightly or wrongly. The corn, we did get down to 357, I believe, was our low. And the area I was looking at was 358. We got to 357.5, and that should be a very important spot to look at. Whether it will be or not, I'm not sure. But another one that we've been following very, very closely that has been very, very good to us here at TFNN has been the soybean market. And I wanted to show this to you this morning because here again, we're looking at these right over this big lunar cycle, and we're completing this monster ABCD pattern here in the November beans. Now, unless we're going to stop eating and all of China is going to stop eating, we're going to come into an area here where pretty soon we're going to come into some pretty strong support here in corn, wheat, and beans. So maybe we stop eating. I don't know. But that's what we're watching here on some of these. We got just a lot of completed patterns through here today. So that's why we're watching them so very, very closely. So anyway, this is what we're looking at here this morning, and we'll keep an eye on some of these things. The crude oil is still setting at that critical 61% level at 68.85, and that has to get above 69.30 in order to be a breakout and heading towards $70, but that's still a bit early in that one, is what we're watching right here. Someone asked me to check on what Tesla was doing. Not that it makes any difference, but I will check. Let's just double check here to see how Tesla's trading this morning. It was down $10, and no, we've rallied back. We're only down about $5 right now. So we've had a pretty good low. We got a low down as 13. Our low was at 13.14, so it's rallied $3. Hasn't really done very much, but we'll have to wait and see. I still think that's going to be please. Okay, someone asked me to take a look at Christmas cattle. Okay, if you'll just give me a second here, I will bring the Christmas cattle up. I have to switch over to the cattle mode, and then we will, here it is, Christmas cattle. We've been looking for a really bullish move coming here in Christmas cattle, as you can see here. There we go. See if this is correct. I don't know how they're trading yet this morning, but we went right down into that gap level, down 6 days, right into that gap level at $50, and that looks like, only the trouble is, Mr. Z, that's hogs. I'm sorry, I was looking for Z and I didn't see the the cattle is right above it. I'm sorry. That's my fault. As soon as I saw that, we completed a really nice Gartley here in the cattle here on Friday. There's a very important support, so it looks like we're going to go high. I don't know if they're higher this morning or not because I'm doing this live, so I can't see. 877-927-6648.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, someone's asked me if there's anything astrological out there that is really big. And, of course, we had Norm Winsky on, of course, on Friday, and he talked about this grand trine between Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars. That's, you know, they're lined up basically in 45-degree angles. The last time we had something like that was back in 1973-74 when Nixon resigned. So maybe there's something big in the horizon. I asked Norm to check that out, and he said he really couldn't see any any similarities between that. So, but there is some big things. I'm just looking at this full moon here because it's been a really strong cycle to look at. So whether that's going to mean anything or not, we'll have to wait and see. So that's really what we're seeing here on some of these things. But I'm not sure exactly if this is going to be a top. All I can tell you is that we're looking at a market that has a potential to top in here because of all these patterns that are going on. And it's, tops are like bottoms. Bottoms are actually easier than tops because fear is a greater emotion than greed because you see the physical characteristics. So tops are related to euphoria. And we're seeing some of that, of course, in the market. But we'll watch it. We need the market to close up 300 points in the Dow, 40 points in the S&P, and then some ungodly number in the NASDAQ. Then I would say, yeah, it's going to go up forever. But right now, I can't really say that. The euro is acting beautifully. If you short the dollar, long the euro, that's acting great. Any of these currencies are acting really nicely. The gold is looking really nice. Anything above 12.20 in the gold could get this thing moving even a lot higher. Watch for pullbacks in gold and silver, folks. That's where the big surprise could come from a very low level. So pay attention to that. It's something that I think would be very, very important to look at. And we'll be watching it through our videos and our daily emails, of course, but watch it. Hogs are limit up. They're very strong. Cattle are very strong. We're expecting, higher prices in those. That's certainly happening. And I think right behind that, you're going to see corn and beans. So we'll see. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks!